So, hello my dear students, my name is Akash Malik and currently I am a BTech CS undergraduate student at Shiv Nadar University. So, in today's video, I'll be discussing that section 2 of the J Advanced paper, physics paper, okay, 2. So, I think without any delay, I should begin with the solutions. So, let's start. Like, I'm gonna draw this whole uh, this figure on the next page, but first let's read what the question is. It is given that a beaker of radius r, okay, this is radius r, okay, and is filled with water, refractive index this, up to a height h, okay, as shown, okay, and the beaker is kept on the horizontal table rotating at an angular speed omega. This makes the water surface curved, so the difference in the height of the water and the level of center and at the circumference of the beaker is h, okay, and this h is very less than the height up to which water is filled and the radius of uh, that beaker, okay, and as shown in the figure on the right hand side, okay. um, what else is there? Take this surface to be approximately spherical, okay, of with radius of curvature capital R, okay. Then which of the following is are correct? Okay, then let's start. Okay, I'm gonna draw this again on the next page. So let us say that this is the table on which this beaker is kept. Okay, and the water is like this, and this is water filled like this. And this height is capital H. Okay, and this difference, this is what? Small h. Okay, and let us say this point is B, and the this is a spherical whose radius of curvature is capital R, and let us say this is the center, that is the center of curvature for this spherical curvature of this water surface, and let me draw like this figure, and let us say this is point A, this is O, and this height is what? Capital R minus small h, this OA distance, okay, and this is what? Small r, this radius of the beaker, and this is what? Definitely it would be capital R only, this is the radius only. Okay, so now first of all we can write that equation of that shape of water. You know, when you study this fluid mechanics, uh, you study this topic, and the equation of shape of water is parabola with the equation of this omega square by 2g times what? X square. This kind of equation is formed. So first of all, I'm gonna talk about a triangle OAB. So let us say in triangle OAB. Okay, so you see, applying Pythagoras theorem, I have this small r square plus this r minus s square is equals to what? Capital R square. Okay, if I simplify this, I will get like this is square r square plus capital R square plus h square minus 2 capital RH is equals to r square. You see this r square and this r square gets cancelled out. So we have r square plus h square is equals to what? 2rh. So from here I have this capital R as what? Small r square plus h square over 2h. Okay. So let's see in which option we have this. So we have this in option number A. So for this option A is correct. Okay, let's see which more option which is correct. So now you see we have, as you see, this small r is very greater than h. So we have this capital R as what? Uh, Small r square over 2h. Okay, and at point B, at B, we have what? At B, okay, at B. This x is what? H. So we have this, this y is h, and x is what? R. So putting this value in this equation, uh, this x is what? Small r, y is h. So we have what? This small h is equals to omega square r square over 2g. Okay, so from now we can see that g by omega square is what? R. You substitute the value of h from here and you will get this result. Okay, g by omega square equals to r, capital R. So now you see, as you check the options, the two relations were for this capital R, in which this one is correct, A option. Now there is a question of apparent depth. Okay, let me see this apparent depth. Okay, so now I'm gonna talk about this concept, what will use this over here. Okay, so first of all, let me use this pen. Okay, so now should I erase it? If you don't have any problem, let me erase this part. I hope you understand this R concept. Just a second, let me erase it and then we'll continue. Yeah. So now you see, we know for apparent depth, we have the formula what? N2 by V minus N1 by U is equals to what? N2 minus N1 by that R. Okay, so I'm gonna use it, and this is what? N2 by V. So I'm gonna substitute the values directly over here. This N2 is what? The air. Okay, so its refractive index would be 1. So we have 1 by V minus this N1 is what? This water. So it would be what? 4 by 3 over 4. Not is It's not 4 actually. Just a second. This is what U. So U would be what? You see, U is this capital H minus this H. Okay. So, and you see, if the ray, light ray, let me use this different color. You know by the laws that if light ray goes in this direction, so this will be considered as positive and opposite to it would be negative. So U would be negative and what its value would be capital H minus H in negative, so it will become positive, and this will be equals to what, N2 minus N1 over this R. Okay, so we have this 1 by V plus 4 by 3 H minus H equals to minus 1 by 3 R. Okay, so now as you know that as this capital H is very greater than H, so we have 1 by V is equals to what, uh, negative of 4 by 3H plus 1 by 3R. Okay, and as you know this R must be what, G by omega square. Okay, so I'm gonna use this mod 1 by V mod is what, 4 by 3H plus omega square by 3G. Okay, so now what I'm doing is, so you see 1 by V mod, and I'm taking out this 4 by 3H common. It would be 1 plus omega square uh, 3H by this 3G into 4. Okay, so we have this 1 by V mod is 4 by 3H 1 plus this 3 gets cancelled out, omega square H by 4G square H by 4G, this 4G. So here V mod comes out to be 3H by 4 and 1 plus omega square H by 4G raised to the power minus 1. You see this minus 1. Okay, so this is what apparent depth is. Apparent depth. Okay, so we have apparent depth as 3H by 4. So you see the which options are correct for this. So this A option is correct, and you see this 3H by 4, we have 3H by 4 1 plus omega square H by 4G, so D option is also correct. Okay, so for this more than one correct option, A and D are correct. So let's move forward. Okay, so we have this problem. You see it's a kind of rotational motion, and not a very hard problem. It says a student skates up to the ramp that makes an angle 30 degree with the horizontal. He or she starts as shown in the figure at the bottom of the ramp with the speed v0 and wants to turn around over the semicircular path xyz, okay, of the radius r, during which she reaches a maximum height of small h, okay, at point y from the ground as shown in the figure. Okay, assume the energy loss is negligible and the force required for this turn at the highest point is provided by his or her weight only. Okay, so we are required to find these options, which of them are true. So let's start. So first of all, what I'm gonna do is at point y, you see centripetal force is provided by weight only. Okay, so let's say Vy is the speed at y. Vy is speed at y. Okay, so and let us say mg is the mass of that boy or girl, whatever you want to consider. Okay, so you see at point y, just let me take red color pen for better visuality. So here is that boy or girl, whatever it is. Okay, and let us say this is what mg. Okay, and you see centripetal force would be what in this direction, m vy square by r, and this would be what mg sine 30. Okay, so you see we have what this centripetal force is provided only by what the weight. Okay, so we have mg sine 30 degrees is equals to what m vy square by r. Okay, so we have this vy square is rg by 2. Okay, so now we'll use what energy conservation uh, between these 2 points. This point at the bottom. Okay, this point, let us say this point a, and till this point this y highest point. Okay, this is point of b. So we'll use energy conservation between a and b. You understand what point are a and b? Okay, so we have that ke initial plus u initial is equals to ke final plus u final. That's what energy conservation is. So we have this half m v naught square plus the initial potential energy, what to be what 0, and which would be equals to final kinetic energy, that is half m vy square plus this potential energy would be what mgh, because it has a height small h. Okay, so from here I have this v naught square. This v naught square is equals to vy square plus this 2gh. Okay, and now I'll put this value of this just a second. This would be 2gh, yeah, 2gh only, yeah. So now I'll take this 2gh on the left hand side. That would be what v naught square minus 2gh is equals to what vy square. So now v naught square minus 2gh would be what equals to that vy square is what gr by 2. Okay, so let's see which option has this. V naught square minus 2gh is gr by 2, so a option is correct. Okay, and now the centripetal force required at point x and z is 0, and the centripetal force required is maximum at points x and z. So let's see what is the correct option. So you see this is on this path xyz. Okay, on this path xyz, uh, you see the speed is maximum at x and z at this point and this point. You know, because at this point the Vy would be low, so that it completes this circular path. So the V at x is equals to V and z, and is what maximum. So this centripetal force, you see, will be maximum. Okay, So we have this D option also correct. So let's move towards our next problem, which is this is what rotational motion question is. What it says is that a rod of mass m and length L is pivoted at one of its ends and hanging vertically. Okay, so it is pivoted from here. Okay, this from this point it is pivoted. Okay, and a bullet of same mass moving with speed v strikes the rod horizontally at this point. Okay, this point. So at a distance x from the pivoted end. So I'm gonna draw this again on the next page, and what it says is and gets embedded in it. Okay, it gets embedded. Okay, let and combined system now rotates with the angular velocity omega about the pivot. Okay, the about the pivot. The maximum angular speed omega m is achieved at x is equals to xn. Then we are required to find this xm and omega m and omega. Okay, so without any uh, wasting any time, we'll just start. Okay, so you see, when this bullet embedded gets embedded into it, what we'll do is we'll conserve angular momentum. Okay, so just let me use this one. So we'll use what? LMC. What LMC is? Angle AMC, sorry, angular momentum conservation. Okay, so you see this L initial is equals to what? L final. So you see initially this angular momentum of this bullet is what? Mass of bullet into velocity of bullet multiplied by the distance, perpendicular distance between the axis of rotation and the point of striking, that is x. And final angular momentum would be what? ml square by 3 plus the rod of the moment of inertia of this what a rod plus moment of inertia of this bullet, that is m x square times omega. Okay, so from here you get omega as what? 3 Vx. This mass is same of the rod and the bullet now. So this is small m only. Okay, this is just a second. Let me erase it. This m only. Okay, so these m and m, this gets cancelled out. So it is 3 Vx over L square plus 3x square. So we have option A correct. Okay, so now move forward. So for maximum, what we do, we differentiate this d omega, this omega with respect to x and put it equals to 0. So from here, uh, we get the value of x as what? L by root 3. This is exercise for you to differentiate it and put it equals to 0. So from here, x would be L by root 3. So this is what? Xm only. Okay, so this C option is also correct. And now I'm gonna put this value of x in this, and after putting the value of this, we get omega as 3v L by root 3 over L square plus L square by 3, 3 times of L square by 3. So it is what? Root 3 uh, v by 2L. Okay, so this is what it is. So A, C, D are correct option for this question. Very easy question, not a tougher one. When I'll be teaching you the rotational motion, we'll be doing many problems on this concept only. Many means around 2 to 3 problems definitely on this concept. So now we have this problem. Okay, that in an X-ray tube, okay, uh, electrons are emitted from you see this question. Okay, and just read it once, then I'm gonna draw the diagram and simultaneously uh, be doing the problem. Okay, just read it once. I hope you read it. So I'm moving forward. So we have that in an X-ray tube, electrons are emitted from a filament, that is cathode, carrying a current I that hit a target anode at a distance d from the cathode. So let us draw this. Okay. So let us say that this is cathode. Okay. Okay. This carries a current I, and this is what cathode. Electrons are emitting from it, and this strike a target. Let us say this. This is what anode is. And let us say that this is at a distance of d, small d, which is given. Okay, now the next line is that the target is kept at a V potential higher than the cathode, resulting in emission of continuous and characteristic X-rays. Okay, so you see, this potential is the potential difference between this cathode and anode. This is what V. Okay, and now if the filament current I is decreased to I by 2, the potential difference is V is increased to 2V, and the separation is of this D is reduced to D by 2. Then, okay, so then we'll check. Okay, so you see with the option, you see the first option, the cutoff wavelength will reduce to half, and the wavelength of the characteristic X-rays will remain the same. And there is a question on wavelength and intensities, so we'll do like this only. Okay, so you see, um, initial Ke max, we'll talk about this initial Ke max. Initial K max, so that would be what, the charge of electron into potential difference EV, and that would be equals to Hc by lambda minimum 1. You understand? Initial wavelength, minimum wavelength, so and final Ke max. Okay, so that would be what, E multiplied by 2V. Okay, and equals to what, Hc by lambda minimum 2. Okay, so now if I divide both the equations, let us say this equation in first and this is what second, so on dividing I will get what, this lambda minimum 1 is what, twice of lambda minimum 2. Okay, so which option is correct? uh, the cutoff wavelength will reduce to half, and the wavelength of the characteristic X-rays will remain same. You see, the wavelength will remain same of that X-rays. Okay, because uh, so because that lambda will be remaining same. Now we'll talk about what, that you see the current I goes from I to I by 2. The current is decreased, so that number of electrons will also decrease. That n will go to what, n by 2. Let us say this is the number of electrons emitted, so this will also reduce to half. So the intensity, this intensity will go to intensity by half. Okay, so the option D, you see the cutoff wavelength will become 2 times larger, and the intensity will decrease. Okay, so I hope I'm clear. Just a second, I think I made some mistake. Yeah, because we see that the cutoff wavelength will reduce to half and the intensity will decrease. So the option C would be correct. So in this option A This option A is correct, and this option C is also correct. Okay, so now we'll move forward. So we have this new problem, which is again very easy problem. You see, the two identical non-conducting solid sphere of same mass and charge are suspended from a common point by two non-conducting massless strings of same length. At equilibrium, the angle between them is alpha. The spheres are now immersed in dielectric liquid of density this and dielectric constant this. The angle between the strings remains same after immersion. So we are required to find that mass, density of spheres, electric force, and the tension. Okay, so let's just, first of all, let me draw the diagram. So this is what support is, and this is another one. This angle is what, alpha by 2. This is what, alpha by 2. And let's just draw the FBDs. Okay, so first of all, we'll go for initial condition when the spheres were not immersed into that liquid. So let us say this is what. So you see, this is T cos alpha by 2, and this is what, T sin alpha by 2, and this is what, mg, and this is what, fe. So from here what we have, that tan alpha, that's a very common result. Tan alpha by 2 is fe by mg. Okay, so now in liquid, let us say this is what, T dash tension, and this is what, T dash cos alpha by 2 plus force of buoyancy Fe dash mg T dash sin alpha by 2. So from here we have that tan of alpha by 2 would be uh, T cos alpha by 2 would be mg minus fb, and sin alpha by 2, so it would be fe dash by mg minus fb. Okay, now uh, this fe by mg uh, is equals to fe by 21 into mg minus fb only. Okay, so this fe and fe gets cancelled out, and and that would be what, 21 mg minus 21 fb is equals to that mg. So we have 21 fb is equals to what, 20 mg. So for that I'm gonna use that this 21 rho of what, liquid, volume of this sphere into g, that would be equals to 20 rho of this solid sphere into volume into g. From here I get this rho of sphere is 21 by 20 times rho of this liquid. So when you solve this, this would be what, 840 kg per meter cube. Okay, so this option number C is correct. And you see, the mass density is this, and the electric force, between the spheres will remain unchanged. This Fe, this Fe, this remains unchanged in any, material. Just the force between the particle and this liquid, this changes. So I will discuss this topic once again in the theory lectures. Okay. So this option A and this option C is correct. So now I'm gonna move forward. So we have this at starting time origin speed was this, and the particle follows 2D trajectory. XY coordinates are like this, and the x and y components are this ax and ay. Then we are required to find ax and ay, and what we'll check. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so first of all, this we have what y is what x square by 2. So I'm gonna just differentiate both the sides. Okay, so this would be what dy by with respect to time. So it would be dy by dt, that is equals to what x dx by dt. Okay, so we have vy is what x times of vx. Okay, so if I again differentiate both the sides, you see, if I again differentiate, I will get dvy by dt is equals to what x dvx by dt plus uh, vx into dx by dt. Okay, so this would be what vy, this would be what ay, dy by dt is, this is ay is equals to xay xax plus vx whole square. Okay, so now we'll just a second. So we have at t equals to 0 from the origin thus with the speed vy. Okay, at t equals to 0 we have given that the particle's velocity is 0, which means vx is 0 at t equals to 0. Okay, so uh, so now this is, let me draw the diagram first. This is a parabola. Okay, so you see at t equals to 0, the velocity is in this direction only, x direction. So at t equals to 0, vx is what? 1, vy is what? 0. Okay, so at origin, ay is what? Is equals to what? This x is 0 and this vx is 1. So ay is 1, and there any value of ax can be taken at t equals to 0 at origin specifically. Okay, now this was for option number A. Okay, which says this ax equals to 1 implies that when the particle is at origin, ay equals to 1 meter per second square. But you see, ay is equals to 1 meter per second square at origin, but without any value of ax. So this option is wrong. So now we'll check for option number 2, that is option number B, that if ax is 0 implies that ay is 1 at all the times. You see, if ax is 0, if ax is 0, ay is always equals to vx whole square, and you see that Vx is constant. Okay, because that Ax is 0. So when Ax is 0, we have Vx as constant, and that is also equals to 1 meter per second. So we have Ay is equals to what? 1 meter per second square. So option number 2 is correct. So this option B is correct. Now we'll go for option number C, which is at t equals to 0. The particle velocity points in the x direction. We know if I draw the tangent to this point, I get velocity in x direction only. So this option is also correct. Option C is also correct. Now I'm gonna check the option number D, that Ax equals to 0 implies that at t equals to 1 second, the angle between particles velocity and x-axis is this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna for D option, okay, for D option, okay, we have that Ax is 0 and Vx is 1 meter per second, and Ay would be also what, 1 meter per second, and Vy is what, 0, and at any time t, at any time t, we have Vy as what, Ay into t, that is also equals to, and at t equals to 1, and at t equals to 1, at t equals to 1, I have Vy is equals to what, Ay into t, that is 1, so it is 1, and Vx is constant 1, so we can say tan theta is what, Vy by Vx. Okay, so tan theta would be what, 45 degrees. Okay, so this option number D is also correct. Okay, this option number D is also correct. So for question number 12, option B, C, D are correct. Okay, so now let's move on to the, now there is this, now after this question there is section 3, which I'll be discussing in the next video. So I'm gonna end my video right here, and thank you very much for being there for the solution. Okay, thank